interesting personality, Zena chapter from Delhi, a Delhiite, Delhi Belly, Dilwalo ki Delhi, and we have Mr. A traveler, which is why my background is befitting the travel background that I have of the flight and the travel and the tourism and the tourista. And because I'm a traveler myself, and you must have got an indication today that who are we going to talk to? We're going to talk to a guy who has done it, seen it, been it, trekking, traveling in wildest of the places where human beings would have not imagined to go. And he has done it all, traveled all over the world, done expeditions, trekking, and led many delegations. And he passionately talks about tourism. He passionately talks about travel. He has made his passion into profession, which is what I'm doing. I'm living my life that way, is making our passion into profession. Such a very tough challenge, but you always have to excel the challenge. And he has excelled the challenge of making his passion of tourism, passion of travel into a profession, a professional travel professional that he is, from the Dilwalon ki Delhi. Bakshi Saab, Namaskar. Kaise?
Thank you, Ji. Thank you. Yes, wonderful.
So when today Rajiv Bhai, as the person that he is, he gets us with the last minute calls. Kapil, there's an interesting personality. Can you just introduce him? Then he obviously, I'm the go-to person for him. That he wants to get his things done, because when you're doing a job that's so passionate as I do and you do, you'll never say no to anything which comes that way. So hosting is one thing which I love passionately, to speak and to talk and story. I'm sure today our audience of the Zena family, the extended family all over the world, would like to listen to your story about tourism, about how you found your way into tourism, how you found your passion into tourism, and when it all began, Ashokji, when it all began. Tourism is a buzzword now, of course, with internet buzzing, but I'm sure you must have seen the days without the internet, without the global connectivity. Where did that all this kira come from about tourism?
Thank you, Mr. Kapil Dev. It is pleasure to get you here as a host on this Zena family show.
Thank you.
And I'm also grateful to Zena family to give me an opportunity to speak on the topic today, which is the inbound tourism.
Right.
And it's very interesting topic. It's very close to my heart, as I myself am a very passionate traveler, traveled around our country and different countries around the world, like you. And we can see also that you have shown the aircraft in the background.
ATR, I love the ATR.
Yes.
There's something about the ATR that just makes me fascinated. They're small, cute, nice.
It is lovely. It is fantastic. It is part of the tourism, of the industry.
Yeah.
And as the word suggests, inbound tourism, and people coming from other countries or different countries into our countries. And before we say it further, let's listen to the definition of tourist.
Okay.
Tourist is a person who's spending minimum 24 hours in our country, or up to 4 or 5 months staying here. Is called tourist.
Okay.
And he can be even Indian NRI coming to our country, whether he's visiting relatives or visiting some other places. So anyone coming to India, spending this much time and spending money here, is considered as a tourist and inbound tourist. Same way we have outbound tourism also, but I'm more involved in the inbound tourism. And this is also a very interesting story, that how I came in this profession. I had from childhood to see my country, this passion, a dream to see our country and the places. So I used to find beautiful sceneries of different countries, of the Switzerland, of Germany, and Austria, US, used to paste on my cupboard. It's like a vision board,
All right.
which kept me on my
Toast.
dream
Yeah, yeah.
alive. Yes. And then I got chance to come to Delhi to study at JNU, and where I studied German language,
Oh, wow.
and which again there was a trekking club.
Mm.
That was the first thing I joined, and through the trekking club I could see, explore our own country. Been to Kashmir many times, to Ladakh, to Nepal, Bhutan, Sikkim,
All on
Darjeeling.
the trek, or was it a expedition kind of a stuff?
It was a trekking, basically trekking tour,
Okay.
and it used to take 20, 30 boys and girls from JNU and
Okay.
organize, where I've learned the skill of organizing trip
Oh,
for the
wow.
people. And from there, in a way, I was groomed into this profession. It was all happening by chance. And yes, and there was a director of a youth hostel, a president of the youth hostel, who used to organize every year a trekking program at national level in different part of our country,
Okay.
in Ladakh, in Goa, in Kashmir. And he picked me up. I was there with my group, and so he asked me to stay back and work as a volunteer, camp leader for him.
Mm.
And he saw my way of working, how passionate I was to take care of the tourist. And here the tourists were our students, the
Okay.
students coming from different part of the country, staying in our camp. My job was to organize their stay in our camp as comfortable as I could, to provide them food, to provide them dinner and breakfast in the morning, and send them for the next trip. There I was groomed in this line, and by chance I got offer from someone who met me somewhere along the line, and he said, "Why don't you join us? We are going to open an office in India, and we have already offices in Germany, Switzerland, and US. We will be bringing people from other countries to India. So why don't you join us?" I said, "Thank you. It's a very good offer, but I don't know. I have to finish my study first, and then I'll think over." I had still a few months left to finish my course. And then I again got a letter from the same people. And then I thought, people look for job, and here they're offering me. So I joined them and worked with them. Initially, work on the mountain with the tourists coming for the expedition, for the trekking to all the mountain region of our
Wow.
country. And that's how I got chance to explore these areas. And I've learned one thing very good from my father. He used to say, the opportunity will not come and knock on your door. You have to
All the
keep your
time.
eyes and ears open.
Mm.
So that thing I just um, uh, tied up, cart baan liya. And whenever I found some
So
opportunity, I
is
just
it, is it like
jumped on
a
it.
is it like something that you were subconsciously having in your mind that you want to make a profession out of it, or you just took a chance that came your way?
I had no idea about this profession. I didn't know about this profession. It
Okay.
was just by chance. Since my dream was traveling, so it
Right.
keep pushing me
Okay.
automatically this
Okay.
side. It was just unconsciously, I just kept swaying to this side, and it was amazing. So I find this life is wonderful, and here people are being paid to travel, see the places, and enjoy the work also.
So I'm
And it
sure
was
you must
fantastic.
have seen a lot of 3 to 4 decades of transitional change in how tourism has come evolved and come along. What is that India right now, being the global space and global market, and attracting so many people across the globe, and including a huge NRA diaspora and the foreign diasporas. Uh, do you think we are internationally ready to be a tourist destination, India, as such?
We are getting ready.
Okay.
Since the infrastructure is coming up in a big way, from roads to airports to new aircraft and the very ultra modern buses, very
Right.
comfortable buses. So we are on the way to get at that level. And which was not earlier when I started, it was a very primitive stage. But even then, people were coming to see our country
Right.
because it's not easy to travel everywhere.
Right.
And the infrastructure was not so developed at that time. The roads were not so good. And like the northeast area was also cut off, totally cut off.
Right.
The
Right.
roads were not good. Though the government wanted to do everything there, but due to the local situation, they could not open it up. And but at the same time, the government kept changing, and then they started bringing new development and new things, and it is improving. It's amazing.
So, do you think internet has as a revelation that it has been, with a lot of information about from the online information that has been coming from the new apps, YouTube adding in exclusive shows. Does it add value to people looking at traveling to newer destinations? And
Yes,
also there are translators available right now for people. This Google Translator for people to communicate in the local or the native languages. So do you think all these things have added value in terms of upscaling the tourism interest in people? Because
yes.
of course now we see a lot of travel vloggers, bloggers, writers, website separate run websites, especially on tourism. And tourism has been the most biggest hit of industry post COVID. Only that in the last recent past, only the last 6 months more or so, that tourism has picked up and evolved again back to the square. But
True.
it has seen 4 years of dirt from late 2019 to 2023, more so. People are a little skeptical about traveling abroad with COVID and a lot of situations and safety measures of the people. Do you think now people are even more striving to go with this new technology available for people?
Yes, this is a age of polarization in
Mhm.
tourism.
Right.
And since it's developing in all the field due to the fast internet, fast informations, and more people are getting to know about the places and the facilities and the infrastructure. So they are taking advantage of it. And now there are many type of tourists. There are a segment who wants to pay and get everything organized for them and
Oh,
travel in comfort.
okay.
And then there are youngster, those who want to explore on their own,
Just explore.
explore on their own. They have all
Right.
this information on the tips on the internet. And in the same way, the government is also, not only the government, but the private agencies are also providing many facilities like apps, Google apps, and other things, which give you all the information of the hotels, of the accommodations of all categories, from homestay to hotel to budget hotel to luxury hotel to resorts and everything. And so people are taking advantage of it. And so
Yeah.
everybody is getting
I remember
business.
traveling to Delhi in 1992 when I was a young person. I was probably 9 or 10, and of course, being from Hyderabad, south part of India, our Hindi is not as fluent and perfect,
Mhm.
and so and I was a guy who was so inquisitive to learn the food habits, you know, roti and the paneer and the dal makhanis and all those things. I got introduced to the paratha, the culture. So it was a two week trip probably, and that had put this invite thing about traveling a lot.
Mhm.
And and now when I visit the northern parts of India, okay, people have become more professional, I could say, in
True.
handling food. and there is some tourist etiquettes which probably was missing. I don't know if I've been wrong, but now people are a little aware that there is something called as internet. There's something called as reviews. People can write anything bad about you, and your business is going to be screwed, whatever. So people are
True.
afraid about their inner conscious is there, that okay, I don't have to show the bad light about it. So there is this evolving change that is coming across in not just, I'm talking about Delhi and northern side, even in the southern parts of India. People are tending to become more professional, to acclimatized, that understanding that tourists have different mentality, different needs. There were a lack of facilities for women to go to the washrooms, but they're available right now. The bus facilities are upgraded. There's so many things. Corporatization has come into the whole system of it, and all these things are wonderful to see. At the same time, the recent incident that has happened with the tourist lady that has come, does it affect a person like you from the industry?
Yes, especially after COVID.
Yeah.
Many more people from a different education background, especially the highly educated people, they came into the tourism.
Oh.
And with all these new startup things, many new things coming up.
Right.
People understand tourist is looking for a clean, hygienic food. He doesn't have to go to 5-star for that. So now you can get even a small cart which is selling food, street food, but in a very clean and hygienic way. So people enjoy that. So that things I saw about 3 decades back and which I see now, it's a big change. And now there are more professionals doing this, and many more people are coming in this field. And earlier, this field was not so popular. People had no idea about this travel trade and other things. But slowly, it's expanding very well, and it's getting, there's a shift also. Not only the organized sector people are coming, but there are people those who are exploring on their own through the internet information, through the video, like you said, videos. They watch the video and then look for those places where I can find that restaurant, where I can find that place which is shown on the videos. And
Interestingly, one of this gentlemen from a travel vlogger from the Telugu state, he's from Vishakhapatnam, who is one of the highest YouTuber. He makes good chunk of money. Claimingly, he makes about 50 to 60 lakhs just by doing travel YouTube videos, and that's a whole lot of income for anybody.
So that shows
that's
how
a
much
huge
people are watching
opportunity.
his video. That
Yes,
means
exactly.
there is a
Good space.
interest for the people to look around, to travel, to see, to find information. So that it shows itself that his videos are being circulated all over. So people have interest to travel. Besides, people are getting now better income. Their income has improved.
Right.
And so that is also one of the reasons which started tourism in a big way. And now we can see this, beside this new infrastructure, there are new destinations are coming up, like this Ayodhya temple.
Oh, yeah. That adds really new
It is going to be
destination
a huge
income.
inbound tourism for that region. The government has built world-class airport infrastructures, everything. Most of the 5-star hotels have taken up land to bring up the big hotels there. So it's going to change in a massive way. I cannot compare, but there's a small place, Vatican,
Right.
in Italy.
Yep.
But the dearth of tourists coming there, there's so much, money is being generated there, that in the same way we see this north region will be developing very fast with this, connecting with other circuits. That's
You're
another
talking
thing.
about Ayodhya temple
Ayodhya,
tourism is a big subject.
religious tourism, yes.
Spiritual temple tourism. If you see, there's a place called Isha Yoga here in Coimbatore, down
Yeah.
south. And there's a
Yeah.
whole lot of tourism that happens through that, and it's a very small place. But
Yes.
Coimbatore is unknown place for very long, and the travel of experts of people from all over the world who come over there, it's
Spiritual
huge.
travel.
Spiritual travel.
Yeah.
Uh, Likewise, Kerala has for people who go for Ayurvedic medicine.
Ayurvedic. True. Very
Right.
true.
And Goa, they go for the partying stuff, right?
Yes.
So there's a whole lot of places to choose for different people in terms of
Exactly.
exploring India. India in itself is a whole globe with so much of different diaspora, languages, people who speak various and exhibit things. Do you think language becomes a barrier for people who want to, especially foreigners who want to come to India, that we must be adequately trained to be speaking in the global common language? It could be English setting the parameter.
Yes, by and large, English is very well spread in India, and most of the people speak and understand very well. And we inherited this from the colonial time
Colonial time, yeah.
and as a legacy. So it's more and more people are speaking English. So it's not a barrier. People can manage. Besides people engaged in the travel sector,
Right.
they pick up very fast
Oh, yeah.
because they are on daily basis interacting with the foreigners. So not only English, but they are also picking up their languages, foreign languages. So if you see, there are youngsters selling postcards, which is not anymore now. They have picked up so many languages from the tourist,
Mm.
and people are amazed to see that the youngster talking in Spanish and in French, and they're offering all these things, and it's amazing. So interaction, when you practice, you learn it.
True.
Practice makes the man perfect. It's very interesting. So
Yeah,
language is not a barrier.
on my travel to Southeast Asia, they speak little less English, naturally not as proficient as we are. So
Hmm.
there is always a communication gap in what you want to explain and what they understand is a huge gap, especially
Hmm.
Southeast past of maybe no, it may not be the African side of it because they've also been in colonial countries and they understand English pretty well. But there are a lot of
Hmm.
Asian countries where the English is not really a favorite language to be spoken. At least in
Hmm.
India, you will not have this issue when you're traveling that people do understand, okay, there's an average need for people to understand your language.
Yes.
So do
Yes.
you think within the whole the sector itself that promoting multiple languages to learn will always help? Like you have an expert on German language, like
Hmm.
that people who can speak multiple languages, five to
Hmm.
six languages. It could be Spanish for people coming from who are people who want to travel down from South America or the Spanish descent. People, German also being one of the favorite languages for people. So these kind of languages also have to be promoted within the tourism industry that people can also make them understand English, of course, being the first choice. Of course, you also have Spanish, which is the second largest spoken language, and uh, languages like Portuguese or German. So these kind of things do have a space. I believe so.
Yes, it increases your comfort level.
Right.
When you go to a different country and you're greeted in your language, when you land there at the airport, you're greeted in your language, you feel very elated, very comfortable. And then you tend to listen more.
Right.
And person can also explain better in their language. Although English is very common nowadays, I see many Germans are coming. They say we are comfortable in English as well as German. So it's up to you. If you want to speak in
Oh,
German or English, it's up to you. So it's changing now. But earlier it was difficult, and then it made people to go look for learning for foreign languages to get into the trade. And in many places, the government or the agencies also made it a mandatory that you must learn one or two foreign language, then you can come in this trade.
I have this interesting take on India bidding for the 2036 Olympics,
Hmm.
which is going to be a global arena and global stage. 2 3 weeks of packed audience, over a crore of people flooding in from all over the globe, maybe more. And before that, 1 month before, an economic activity, and another one. So you'll have like good 3 months of huge amount of tourists that would have never seen India trying to come to India. Sports being one of those bridging gaps of brotherhood. Are we ready as a country to handle tourists all over the world of that size?
Yes, India is now capable of handling that much traffic. And since they are increasing on a continuous level, the places, the conferences places, the hotels,
Right,
and in the so many rooms, bed per night, and so they are capable now to cater to those. And beside, it is a very good for the country, for the development also. So when in 1982 we had a Asian Games, then the
right, right.
face of the country changed.
Changed.
The city Delhi changed. There were
Right,
stadiums were built, new bridges were built, over bridges were to decongest the areas, and the new roads were built. Same way. And now this happened, this G20
right,
conference. And so it gave a huge facelift to the whole country, not only
right,
in one region. And it's very interesting. Mr. Modi planned this in such a way that he could showcase the whole country.
right.
And
The whole
because they have taken the guest on different region.
different regions.
The conference was not done throughout the period in one place. It was divided in Punjab, in the northeast area, the Kashmir. So he himself was like a ambassador of tourism, and he is the first prime minister. But wherever he's going abroad, he tells to the local diaspora that if I ask you one thing, will you listen to me? Will you promise that you'll help me? People say, yes, we'll help you. He say, you talk to your local people, those of that country, and convince 5 families to come visit India. So that's why he
Without.
started promoting. So it's amazing thing. He himself is doing this, but this thing very things changing. The
Yeah, there's a
G20
saying that
brought new changes.
any organization is as good as a leader, and if you have a good leader, there's always
Yes,
a chance to promote and speak good and talk good. It's all as good. Any organization is as good as a leader. So we are
yes,
different. Leader is representing the country. Leader is representing the state. The aspiration of people. It's about how you project what your country is that reflects to the outside world as well.
correct.
So talking about the next set of topic about the insurance that we was mentioning about, and there's a whole lot of when you're booking now you're booking average train ticket or average flight on any of your apps. You also have insurance mentioned into it as such. How mandatory is the insurance for a traveler now?
For traveler, it was not mandatory earlier, but now it has been mandatory because the cost of treatment has gone very high. I remember about 2 decades, 3 decades back, there was an accident. We were traveling in a bus with a German group, and the bus came off the road into the field. And luckily, nothing much happened because the bus sank in the soft field. And but still, some people got hit from the seat, minor things. And I took them to the local hospitals and the government hospitals, clinics. They got the treatment. They wanted a receipt. They said they want to pay, but they say it's free for you. They could not understand. They say we have insurance. We are carrying all the way very expensive insurance, and we can pay as much money as you want. So
Right.
this is more mandatory for the inbound tourists than here. But now it's spreading here also. Now people are getting conscious here also to buy insurance wherever. If you see, even the train, IRTC has started, when you book a train ticket, there's a small cost, and a box says, if you want insurance of 5 lakhs or so many lakhs, you tick this box, you add little money, and you get that insurance also. This new thing has started. So it's catching up here also. When I was in US, and at each airport, there was a little basket, and you just throw $1, you get a ticket, you take out the ticket, and you're insured.
Okay.
So it was so common outside, which is not in India, but now it's coming up here also. So people are getting conscious. Whenever they travel, they call me. They're traveling to different countries or wherever. So they take insurance cover and then they travel.
So does insurance, when you talk about insurance and traveling, there's also something called as medical tourism, which is a huge spread of people that have come to India to take care of their medical needs and also have a tourism. And it's quite a popular concept. And Kerala is one of those states which have extracted it absolutely very well. So is Hyderabad, the place where I live, that the huge mega hospitals that are available for people have encashed it, the infrastructure, the airport, the roadways, and the railways are absolutely perfect. Do you see more potential of India handling the medical tourism, particularly from people who are traveling from abroad, who wants to take
Yes,
Indian expertise in
yes.
healthcare?
Yeah, I think Mr. Reddy from Hyderabad only was the first person who started initially from a garage, and then he
True.
expanded into a chain of Apollo Hospital.
Right.
And Apollo Hospital was the first hospital to cater to all these foreigners
Right.
for the treatment. And now they have their offices. Not only this, all the hospitals they have sales offices abroad in different countries,
Right.
and they are sending these people for the treatment to this country. And it's a huge network now expanding all over to cater to the medical tourism. I remember about 20 years back, one gentleman came 25 years back, about 3 decades back, sorry,
Mhm.
from US. He said, Ashok, I'm getting $5,000 lump sum from my insurance company. So I'm here with that money, and you put me into some good hospital for my checkup, for all the checkup, for colonoscopy to everything. If something comes up, I'm staying here for the treatment.
Oh, okay. This was how much? 20 years
So
back?
about 3 decades back.
Oh, wow.
And so that time it was not that much developed, that tourism, that medical tourism. And I said, yes, it is possible. So I took him to a hospital, the best hospital in Delhi, and put up in a nearby in a guest house near the hospital. And about 3 days he went for all various kind of checkup. And then luckily nothing came out. So he was happy. I was happy. So he said, now I'm left with $4,000. So now you have to organize a trip for
Spread
me
across the whole of the country, traveling across the country. That's
to
the
a
money.
bit of north, a bit of south. So I organized for the trip for them in North India and South India. He was very happy. And he went back and he wrote in his newspaper. He was a writer from Atlanta, and he wrote in his newspaper about this medical tourism thing in India. And after reading this, few more people came. So that's how it caught on. And now it's very popular. If you go to any hospital, you will see one dedicated section for the foreigners.
Oh, yeah. That was missing earlier, and now you have the whole
System.
section, foreign relations section. And so quickly, before we have the final words coming in from you, the inbound tourism and the insurance that is reflecting on it.
Mhm.
The next 10 years, where do you see India heading to from here?
Now, after AI jumping into all of this, the things are changing drastically. And though it will reach slowly here in India, but still things are being caught up everywhere. And so again, I say it's a polarization, be it a tourism, be it AI. So it's getting divided more and more. There are people, those who are tech savvy, and they're using all these tech services, and they have money power to utilize all these services for the comfort and travels and everything. But at the same time, uh, it is a very personalized service. You cannot wholly depend on all technical things or AI. You need human touch.
Right.
You
Tender,
need
loud,
a
care, and touch.
human touch for this service, which is very important, and that's how it will continue like this. And like I remember when I made a call initially to somebody abroad, so there was a tape going on. Please press this button for English. Please press this button for message, and so I left a message. I'm sorry, I do not like to talk to machine. I would rather like to talk to human being. I disconnected. So
Yeah.
people are looking for a human touch.
In medical industry, we call it tender love, care, and touch. Is why people come is they want to feel the hand, feel the empathy, feel the love, feel the care, feel
Exactly.
the bond. And tourism is one such industry. They want to see, experience the touch. They want to go to a doctor to tell the story. Speak. It's a therapy in itself. Traveling is a therapy. Going to a doctor is a therapy, which was all missing. And post COVID things have become so digitalized that I think now it's the need of the hour for people to meet, interact, and speak. And before we close the session, final words from you about the whole, about speaking about the whole journey that you've had. It's all yours.
It is a wonderful field. It is a wonderful segment, and it is expanding. It's continue to expand, and there are more and more people are getting job. More and more people are getting involved in this. More and more employments are being generated, and more hotels are coming up, employing more people, and even that there's a network of taxis and the taxi drivers and the interpreters, and so everybody's getting job. And now the government is also trying to ease it for the large number of people in India. Earlier, it was mandatory one should be graduate with a foreign language to get into this travel trade. But now the government has opened up, helping even the other people, those who are even 10 plus 2 pass courses, they can also get into this trade. So it's expanding. So then, like you said, now there's a new contract is being, we are awaiting in 1936 of this Olympic. So definitely government need more manpower, more people. Once upon a time, we also heard, although the relation with China is not at that level which was earlier, and the government thought of opening up gate for the Chinese people. The Chinese, once the Chinese start coming to India, so they'll flood all over. So we need a huge manpower to handle to cater all those things. So for that, people are getting slowly prepared, and at the same time, the government should also ease up the facility for the tourist to come to India, and especially with the visas, which are more and more slowly getting online. And on arrival, also many countries are added to get visa. So things are changing for the better, and I hope it will continue to change for the better, which will help us all in this trade. And I think, uh, thank you very much that you uh, asked many intelligent questions, and I hope the our viewer will also enjoy and get some interest,
Thank you very much,
knowledge.
Anand Bhai. That today has been an enlightening session about how tourism, inbound tourism in India, and the insurance plugged by it. A brief session, a weekend session. We look forward to listen to more of you about, and looking forward that you'll be a great contributor for the Olympics that come into India. We've spoken about sports tourism. We've spoken about medical tourism. We also spoke about the NRI inbound tourism. We also spoken about spiritual tourism, Ayodhya being the hub for the whole tourism. So there's a lot of opportunities for people to explore, And somebody who want to get into tourism, the right person is there. You can contact him. He's all going to be great help to you. People who want to get into insurance, people who want to get into tourism. Ashok ji from the Zena Delhi chapter is always there. Thank you for your information session so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Mr. Kapil Dev, for
Thank
hosting a
you.
wonderful job you've done sitting there from Hyderabad, and
Thank you.
hope to join again some other show with you.
Thank you. Thank you, members of the Zena
Wonderful.
family. And thank you, everybody. Great weekend.
Thanks a lot.
Namaskar. Good evening.
Namaskar.